Hi guys, real fast. I was just catching up on tonight's episode of 90 Day Fiance, Sunday. And, I don't know what is going on in those episodes. First of all, this season is not my favorite season. There's a couple that I like to follow. That's Colt and Larissa. They're about the best in there. And then there's Eric and Leida. I mean, Leida's just out of her mind, crazy, and should just go back to Indonesia because, let's just take it from the start. Tonight, when she was telling Eric again for like the upteenth time that she didn't want him to pay child support, she wanted him to give up his parental rights, but she wants him to father her child and support her child. It's crazy. First of all, she doesn't understand. He has a legal responsibility to do so. Second of all, that's his daughter. He doesn't want to give up his parental rights, and she's such a child. She's 29 years old, but she's such a child. She throws fits, she threatens, she's got that, is it the borderline personality when you say, I'm going, no, don't leave me. It's that whole kind of situation there. It's really, really bad, and she should just cut the crap, okay? And now, tonight, so it was only that, and then finally, Eric's got a backbone. He tells her she better stop it with her Indonesian culture and what you don't do, what they don't do there. And she has said before in other episodes that she wanted to come to the United States because of how she could advance in her medical career. I don't know why she can't do that in Indonesia. I don't know. Can women not become doctors over there or what? But it's obvious. It is so obvious. The only reason she is with Eric is to get her education here. And she is so jealous of everything. She's jealous of his children. She wants more all the time. And then she went to say tonight, it was just crazy. She said, no, I want you to take that $1,000 that comes out of your paycheck each month for your child support. I don't want you to pay it. I want you to give it to me and put it in my pocket and terminate your parental rights. All of three of those things. And, finally you saw Eric get some backbone and he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And what does he do? What does he do? He walks off, he says, I'm done, I'm through this. I'm like, yay, great. And then, of course, whether it's because he's being paid by the show and he doesn't want that gravy train to end, or whatever the reason, the next day they're back to talking again, and then she understands. Not really understands, not like any way, shape, or form an apology, but yes, you can pay the child support. But I want Tasha out of the house, the other daughter, and then she has this big fight with her, and she acts all pompous. Eric, you need to grow up, and you need to stand up. You are letting this woman walk all over you, tell you what you're going to do. She's throwing your kids out. She's telling you not to pay child support. What are you doing? You've known her for 23 days. Okay? She's walking around, I'm the boss, I'm the boss. Is that what you want? You think this is going to lead to something good here? Come on. Really. And then, when the daughter did, if this would be Indonesia. It's not Indonesia, Leida. You're in America. And apparently you want that because you can't get the education you want in Indonesia and you want to be right here. Okay? So, which way do you want it? You want the great things that America offers, but then you go back to these cultural things that your country offers. So get with it, okay? Get with it, Leida. And stop using Eric to get what you want, okay? Because you're just a really sad excuse for a fiance, 100%. And you don't mind being the evil stepmom? Yeah, okay. So let's get off those two. We have Stephen and Olga. He's getting trying to get American citizenship for the baby, to bring the baby back, and he won't be able to bring Olga back, and it's a big struggle. There's just a little bit on them. Personally, I don't know. I don't know what I see with those two. I see Stephen again is 20 years old, young, thrust into fatherhood. Olga, she's being raised in an orphanage, you know, now being a mother and having this big turmoil. It's just, it's a lot of craziness. I don't know what to expect there. And we have Jonathan and Francesca. Francesca is her name, I think. She is trying to help Jonathan rekindle his relationship with his mother. This is the opposite of Colt and Larissa, because she knows that someone that doesn't respect, that doesn't love, that doesn't have a good relationship with his mother, doesn't treat his wife right, okay? So she's trying to foster that relationship, because they once, he said, had a good relationship. So she's trying to foster that back. Give her credit there, give her props for that. She's doing a good thing. Again, that was a short session. We had a lot on the couple that I like to follow the best in this episode, which is Colt and Larissa. Now Larissa is just going bonkers, totally bonkers this time. I don't know what is up with this girl. She is the queen now. So he had his cousins come over and she just went ballistic with Debbie, because she said Debbie poisoned her to these cousins, and that Debbie, you know, takes everything and puts. I'm not saying it's not hard to move into a house where your fiance is living with his mother and has a joint checking account with his mother and joint credit cards with his mother, but he is her only son, and you know, frankly, I've seen mama's boys in the past that have been even more invested in their mothers. Like if Larissa or somebody was doing any of that, they would have went crazy cakes, okay, in the mother's defense. So, you know, while I think Colt is this mama's boy, in some ways he's not, because like I said, I've known some that would never even dream of the mother living on her own, okay? Or a harsh word said about the mother, the way she was talking about his mother in front of him. And the mother got up, she slammed the door. I mean, it was just a crazy shite show for that barbecue. And they had the 3 little kids and they were ushering them around. The mother was playing on the phone with them. They said that they would have Aunt Debbie live with them, you know, and then now Colt is calling his mother Debbie. You know, that just seems weird, instead of just saying my mother or mom or whatever. I don't know. It was just nuts. And then she said that John is not invited to the wedding, and she wanted a $2,400 dress, and Colt gave the limit at $1,000, and she thought that was unreasonable. And you know, apparently, you know, Colt wants these crazy sexy dresses, which I can't believe. I said there's a lot in Colt's closet that we haven't seen come out yet. Just craziness. And the poor guy, I mean, he really needs like some help with wardrobe there. You think somebody would help him on TLC. But, you know, and she's saying, oh, what did I abuse? I abuse or take advantage of. I take advantage of his body. That's the only thing, you know, because he's not her sugar daddy and he doesn't have money, and she drives in a car with no air conditioner. And I love how she always adds the Iggy onto every word. Like, we need biggie house. She was doing it to all kinds of words tonight. She kept adding a little E onto everything. We need, you know, whatever. So it's very funny when you listen to Larissa talk. And I really give her props, and most of them, yes, all of the fiancés that are on there, they really learned a good amount of English, because they're not coming over here talking to those translators like Greenie and Paul had to. They really know a lot of English, and they're even like they're quick and they're catching on to these conversations. So a lot of times that's hard, because you have to think in your native language, translate it to, you know, English, and go back, and it's just they're doing remarkably well. So we still haven't gotten to the arrest with Larissa that's been in the news. We haven't gotten to that. She has a husband and children back in Brazil, an ex-husband. so that's not coming. It looks like maybe there's going to be more of that next week. It looks like next week is going to be a little bit of a crazy episode as well, and we'll have to see what's going on. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? What would you think that happened tonight going on? I mean, there's not, I mean, like, in episodes, I mean, in seasons past, we had like Darcy and Jesse, and then we had Nicole and Asin, and just so much craziness. And here we have, like I said, the two craziest ones I think are definitely Colt and Larissa, and Leida and Eric. And Leida just because she's just like not in touch with a lot of things, and she's the one that says, I'm going to call the cops, because that's Larissa, who thinks she knows all the American laws, and Colt is saying, you don't even know what you're talking about, you're going to call the cops. And then she said to Debbie, I'm going to call the cops on you if you touch me, as again, or something like, to make it sound like Debbie had already touched her. So I don't know what is going on there. Debbie had definitely had enough. She showed her how to slam a door, because she was accused of slamming a door when she didn't really slam a door. And yeah, I mean, it was just craziness. And they never even showed anybody eating all that food that they were barbecuing. So yeah, that was something else. Anyway, that's it. And then I watched Dirty John, which I don't know how I'm really liking this series. I mean, I really enjoyed the podcast. The series is like, it doesn't seem to be, I have to listen to the podcast again because it has been about a year. It seems much longer than a year since, because I listened to it when it first came out. It seems much longer to me than a year that I listened to that. I swear it seems like 2 years or something, because I know I've forgotten key things in there, but like even my daughter who listened to it a year ago, we watched the first episode together when she was home for Thanksgiving break. There were things in there like, we're like, wait, did that happen? I have to listen to the podcast again. And now I'm going through it again. And it's just like, if I hadn't listened to the podcast, I would be like, what? Because I know things because of the podcast. I don't think they're coming across clear in the show. And I just don't feel that grab like they're saying, like it's the can't turn away. But they feel it as riveting as the podcast. I don't think they're not doing it. It's just the way it is. I'm really not happy with that. And then, switch gears. Everything's on Sunday night, but I haven't watched this one because I'm going to watch it with my husband tomorrow, because we watch it together, and he will not be happy if I watch it alone. Well, he probably wouldn't care, but so I'm just such a nice wife. Anyway, Escape at Danny Mora, which is the one that's directed by Ben Stiller. It's about the prison in upstate New York, those guys that got out through the pipe and all that stuff. So yeah, I've been watching that. That is very good. Now seeing we're on episode 4 coming up here. So yeah, I just wish we didn't have to wait every week for that, because you get, it's on Showtime, but you get so used to binge watching something, even when the new ones come out and they release all the episodes at once. It's great, wonderful, and I love it, but it spoils you, right? It spoils you so badly. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'm going to bed. I need sleep. I'm tired. Okay, so I just want to give you a quick recap on all that. Take care, and I will talk to you later. Put your comments in there about anything that you observed watching it, any questions you have or anything you want to discuss. Bye now.